The executive suite of Hale Enterprises in Boston, 2025, was a cathedral of glass and steel, its silence broken only by the rhythmic tick of an antique clock on the wall. Victoria Hale, 45, stood before her floor-to-ceiling windows, her platinum blonde hair pulled into a severe chignon, her tailored navy suit as sharp as her reputation. Known as the Ice Queen, her gray eyes cut through the room like a blade. "Peek once more and you're fired," she snapped, her voice slicing the air. The entire floor froze, executives, analysts, all eyes darting nervously. She wasn't addressing her board or her VP of operations, but Daniel Carter, 34, the new assistant, clutching a folder, his knuckles white. He hadn't been glancing at her confidential merger slides on the projector. His phone, buzzing insistently in his pocket, had drawn his eye, a lifeline to his 7-year-old daughter, Lily. Daniel, a single father with tousled dark hair and weary hazel eyes, stood out in the polished room, his off-the-rack suit a quiet rebellion against the corporate sheen. He'd taken the job at Hale Enterprises to provide for Lily, whose asthma attacks had grown unpredictable since her mother's death 2 years prior. The buzzing phone signaled a call from her school nurse, each vibration a potential emergency. Victoria's threat hung heavy, but instead of shrinking, Daniel met her icy glare with steady resolve. "I wasn't peeking at your files, Miss Hale," he said, voice even but firm. "I was checking on my daughter. She has asthma, and when the school calls, I have to know she's okay. Fire me if you must, but she comes first." The room went deathly still. Executives shifted uncomfortably, bracing for Victoria's legendary wrath. Her reputation was built on ruthlessness, stories of firing VPs for tardiness, dismantling competitors without a flicker of remorse. Her hand, clutching a glass of water, trembled almost imperceptibly. No one knew the scar she carried. At 16, she'd lost her little brother, Ethan, to a fatal asthma attack. Their parents' assistant, forbidden from leaving a meeting, hadn't reached the hospital in time. The memory, buried under decades of control, cracked open at Daniel's words. Her throat tightened, eyes stinging, but she turned to the window, hiding the fracture. "Meeting adjourned," she said curtly, her voice betraying nothing. The room emptied, confusion trailing the executives like a fog. That evening, Daniel rushed to Boston General, where Lily had been admitted after a mild asthma attack. As he gathered his bag, expecting a pink slip in his inbox, he froze in the office lobby. Victoria stood there, her usual frost replaced by quiet determination, keys to her sleek black sedan in hand. "I'll drive," she said, her tone softer than he'd ever heard. The ride was tense at first, the hum of the engine filling the silence. At the hospital, Victoria didn't leave. She sat in the waiting room, her presence incongruous among worried families, and later brought hot cocoa to Lily's bedside. The girl, pale but smiling, sipped it, her eyes brightening at the stranger's kindness. "You're Daddy's boss?" Lily asked. Victoria nodded, a rare warmth softening her face. "Something like that." The moment shifted something in Victoria. For years, she'd built an empire on control, her heart walled off since Ethan's death. Colleagues whispered she was untouchable, her success a fortress of ambition. But Daniel's quiet courage, prioritizing his daughter over her threats, echoed the loyalty she'd once shown her brother. Over the next weeks, the Ice Queen began to thaw. She introduced flexible hours at Hale Enterprises, allowing parents to attend school events or emergencies without fear. She funded a company daycare, a move the board called sentimental but employees praised. Daniel, no longer just the assistant, became her confidant, his calm presence a steadying force. The change wasn't seamless. The board pushed back, questioning her softening leadership. Victoria's old instincts flared, but she channeled them differently, outmaneuvering dissenters with sharper strategies, proving her heart hadn't dulled her edge. Daniel faced his own struggles. Lily's condition required constant vigilance, and he wrestled with guilt over accepting Victoria's help. One night, as they worked late on a merger, Victoria shared her story of Ethan, her voice breaking for the first time. "I built walls so no one could hurt me again," she admitted. Daniel nodded, understanding loss too well. "But walls keep out the good stuff too," he said, glancing at a photo of Lily on his desk. Months later, at the company's annual gala, Victoria stood beside Daniel and Lily, who wore a sparkly dress and giggled as she showed off her new inhaler case, a gift from Victoria. Employees whispered, not about the Ice Queen, but about the woman who'd quietly rewritten her legacy. Daniel, now promoted to operations manager, no longer feared for his job. Victoria, for the first time, felt the weight of her walls lift. One honest reply, Daniel's stand for his daughter, had cracked her armor, proving that courage and love could melt even the iciest hearts, forging a bond stronger than any corporate empire.